Well, hello folks, and thank you Mr. Hugh Jars for inviting me to create this cheeky little video that's going to address a claim made by Mr. Oakley and the Queen Daddy of Flat Earth Knowledge himself, QE. Now this is about the gas without a container, and their claim is that you can't have gas without a container, and therefore space is fake, because what would happen is that the second law of thermodynamics, which incidentally has nothing to do with this, will cause all of the gas on the Earth to flurf off into space. Well, they're saying that the reason that'll happen is because gas has pressure because it needs container walls. All right, let's have a look at that. Well, first of all, what both Mr. Oakley and Queen Daddy could do is find themselves a barometer and then read it. You know, read the pressure. And then they could hold hands and walk around, see if they can bump into a container. You know, the container that's causing the pressure on that barometer. Go look for it. See if you can find it. See if you can bump into it yourself. I think you'll find that gas pressure without a container. Yeah? Okay. What about the next one? Without a container, the atmosphere would flurf off into space. Well, that's the big claim. So therefore, space must be fake. Well, so the assumption here is that if you have a high pressure area and a low pressure area, then the gas in the high pressure area would automatically move to the low pressure. You know, that's their version of entropy. All right, that's what they expect would happen, and they demonstrate this by showing us a video where somebody's got some bromine gas in one container, opens a valve, and it fills a vacuum in another container. And that's their demonstration. Okay, well, let's have a look at some real life demonstrations then, shall we? What happens at the top of Everest, where the pressure is only 4.36 psi? Why doesn't the air that's at 14 psi rush off to fill the space at only 4.36 psi? You know, like you expected it to. I wonder why it doesn't happen. Actually, I've got a better question. Why aren't you asking yourself that question? Let's look at another one. Just recently we had Mr. Sensible put a balloon up, a high altitude balloon. Went to around 127,000 feet and measured the pressure at 0.036 psi. Okay, that's pretty low, isn't it? Nearly nothing. So, can you please tell us, Mr. Oakley and Queen Daddy, why is the gas at 14.7 psi not rushing off, flurfing off to this area at 127,000 feet, where there's practically none? Now, if it doesn't do that at 127,000 feet, why should it do it at 150,000 feet? 500,000 feet, 500 miles, 50,000 miles, 400,000 miles. Infinite. Why doesn't it do it? If the air's can't be bothered to flurf up to 127,000 feet, why would it be bothered to flurf up to 1,000,000? Why aren't you asking yourself this question? Actually, what surprises me is, why aren't your flock asking you this question? You know why? Because they're pretty dumb. Let's face it. Cheers.